The Treasury Buildings, being 16,000 square metres, are enormous in their actual size, they're enormous in their history, and they sit in the middle of the Perth CBD.
So there's really three old buildings: the Treasury, the Lands Building and the Titles Building.
The building is a beautiful piece of history in the main part of our city today, and it's very exciting to think that this building that had laid dormant for so long is being brought back to life. It started its days originally as a colonial site, and it was the home of the original administration of government.
Sort of tells that story of Western Australia as we started to develop a mining industry and became a very aspirational state.
20 years ago the government moved out, and since that time they were empty for that whole period.
The state of the Treasury building was pretty woeful. It was extremely run down.
But equally you could tell that it had a good sort of soul or a good base, and it was really going to come back to life.
This was really the last chance to kind of deliver an outcome for the largest, in a sense, state government, the public of Perth owned heritage buildings.
They were actually designed by two of Perth's most revered architects, Richard Rhodes Jewell and George Temple Poole.
We wanted to make sure the building's heritage was respected, and we wanted to make sure that the building respected the kind of citizens of Perth, so we wanted it to be a public building. So part of our philosophy from day one was that every door that existed in that building would be open to the public.
In many ways, heritage is the art of saving what's valuable and what helps you interpret, but also adapting it for a new use at a new time. And I think this is a fantastic project which shows how that can be done.
Well, the Old Treasury will produce, a 48-room luxury boutique hotel. The rooms are from 50 to 120 square metres each, so we let the heritage building really decide how many rooms it could offer us. So there'll be about 12 different retail, food and beverage outlets through the building, coming in from about 6 different entries. So the building's totally permeable to the public. They can walk through it in any direction.
It was necessary for all stakeholders to collaborate very tightly on this project.
We're just seeing an amazing product take shape before our eyes as a result of that very high level of stakeholder collaboration. We
had state government, the city being local government, the Anglican Church, which was a large landholder, joining us, the public trustees, which are a government instrumentality.
Kerry Hill is the architect, one of, certainly in our opinion, one of the best architects in the world.
We looked around Australia to get a contractor we could work with, and that was where we came across Built. We'd never worked with them before, but we selected them really for their track record.
Built ended up being the obvious choice for us. For me, and the delivery of projects of this size, nature and complication, it needs people that actually love and care about what they do.
This was a builder that's worked at high end, delivered high finishes, understood the decision process that goes into restoration and the decision process required for delivering high-end quality.
If we're not happy with an element, we're pulling it out and we're doing it again. We're not just accepting, she'll be right. It's got to be done to a built-worthy standard.
So as a builder who had the credentials and track record, that was one great reason, and two, they could deliver a team that had an attitude that could actually also deliver that, and that was important. So that's why we chose Built, and it was a good decision.
The positive outcomes for the revitalisation of such a significant building is that it's going to preserve that building for generations to come.
Over the coming years, when this project opens, people will actually start to gravitate to this, and in the public mind, this will be considered the centre of Perth.
It is my view that this project has been a wonderful example of public-private partnerships.
I cannot praise highly enough the work that FJM and Built have put into this project. In fact, I thank them for the level of detail. They will have absolutely raised the bar for what can be done in heritage in Western Australia, and I think everybody will see that when this project does reopen. You've set the standard again for what we can do in heritage, for what we can do in adaptive reuse, and I'm delighted as a Heritage Minister that I will now have an example like this that I can point to and say, here is how we can do heritage in Western Australia.